Hello everyone. Today I am going to start a new chapter, matrices. So, what is a matrix? Actually, matrices is a plural form. The singular form is matrix. Now, what is a matrix? A matrix is a representation of m into n number of elements in n rows and n columns. Rows, as you know, these are rows and these are columns. So a matrix is a representation of m into n number of elements in m rows and n columns, where the this m into n, actually we say m by n here, this is called the order of the matrix. That is, order of the matrix is m, though we write m into n, but this is uh, expressed by saying m by n. The order of the matrix is m by n. That means m rows and n columns. Okay. Now, obviously, the shape of the matrix may be rectangular or sometimes it may be square. When it is rectangular, when the number of rows and the number of columns are not equal. That is when m not equal to n. M is the number of rows and n is the number of columns. When the number of rows and number of columns are not equal, so obviously then the shape of the matrix will be rectangular. But if the number of rows is equal to the number of columns, that is when m is equal to n, then the shape of the matrix will be square. Unlike determinant is always square shaped, but a matrix may be rectangular or may sometimes be a square. Now, the matrix is sometimes expressed writing in short form like Aij m by n. Ij means I may be any row, j may be any column. So, as I said in determinant, that these are called this ij, that is 2 3 3 3, these are called subscripts of the element. These are a11 a12 a13, these are called elements or entries of the matrix, and this 2 3 1 3, that is ij in general, is called the subscript of the element. So, and these denote what? These denote the position of the element in the matrix. That is, aij means the element in the ith row and jth column. Like suppose A23, that means A23 lies in the intersection, lies at the intersection of second row and third column. Similarly, A32 means it lies at the intersection of third row and second column. Okay, so this is the definition of a matrix. Now, I will describe or discuss few uh, special type of matrices, a few properties of matrices. Okay. And also one thing you remember, the determinant is always written within straight line segment, between two straight line segments, but matrix is always written within this third bracket or sometimes within first bracket. Okay. So this is for determinant and this is for matrix, either within third brackets or square brackets as you say, or within first brackets or parentheses. So this is the matrix. This is for matrix, and this symbol is for determinant. Okay. Next, come to equality of matrices. Equality. When two matrices will be equal, matrices will be equal if first they must have the same order, and second the corresponding elements must be all equal. That is, suppose here I am writing x, y, u, v, and here I am writing 2, -1, -4, 5. So here we can say these two matrices are equal. First we have to check that whether they have same order or not. Here we see that this matrix have the order 2 by 2 because 2 rows and 2 columns are there, and here also the order of the matrix is 2 by 2 because here also 2 rows and 2 columns. Now they then are comparable. First they should be, when they will be comparable, when they have the same order, otherwise they are not comparable. Now when they will be the two comparable matrix, when they will be equal, if each of the corresponding elements are equal. Corresponding means suppose x is equal to 2. If this position element and this position element are equal, these are called corresponding elements. Corresponding elements means same position elements. So x, if x is equal to 2, y is equal to -1, u is equal to -4, and v is equal to 5. So if this thing holds, then we say that the two matrices are equal. So this is the equality of two matrices. First, their orders must be equal, and second, the corresponding elements must be equal. Next, I am discussing a few special types of matrices. First, null or zero matrix. Null or zero matrix. If each element of a matrix be 0, then the matrix is said to be a null or zero matrix, and this is denoted by this symbol 0 bar. 0 bar means null matrix. Okay. So this is actually order 3, 2 rows and 3 columns. So the order of this null matrix is 2 by 3, and the order of this null matrix is 2 by 2. Remember, the first position denote the number of rows, and the second position denote the number of columns. The first number of rows, and the second number for number of columns. Okay, so here there are 2 rows and 3 columns, so the order is 2 by 3. Here also there are 2 rows and 2 columns, so the order is 2 by 2. Next, diagonal matrix. Diagonal matrix is a square matrix. Diagonal matrix would be a square matrix. A square matrix if all its non-diagonal elements are 0. You see that here diagonal elements may or may not be 0, but if the non-diagonal elements, if the non-diagonal elements are all 0, then this type of matrix is known as diagonal matrix. Okay. Next, unit or identity matrix. Unit or identity matrix. This is very important matrix, unit or identity matrix. Uh, Suppose 1 0 0 1, a square, a diagonal matrix is called a unit or identity matrix if all its diagonal elements are 1. Okay. As I said, diagonal matrix should be all non-diagonal elements 0. So here, unit or identity matrix is a diagonal matrix, so all its non-diagonal elements 0, but the diagonal elements are all 1. Diagonal means, as I told you in determinants, diagonal here you have to consider the principal diagonal. When we say diagonal elements, that means we are referring to principal or leading diagonal. Okay. So this is called the, as I told you in determinants, this diagonal is known as the principal or leading diagonal. So when all the leading diagonal elements are here, all the leading diagonal elements are 1 and the other elements 0, then that square matrix or diagonal matrix is called an unit or identity matrix, and this matrix is denoted by I2. I for identity and 2 for, it is a second order matrix. Why second order? Because it has 2 rows and 2 columns. Because identity matrix must be a square matrix, so 2 by 2. Okay. Otherwise, if it is not square, that is, if it is rectangular, then no diagonal will exist. So diagonal matrix, identity matrix, they should all be square matrix. They must all be square matrix. Otherwise, diagonal will not exist. Okay. Next, suppose I3. I3 means a third order identity or unit matrix. It will look like 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0. This is third order because there are 3 rows and 3 columns. It's a 3 by 3 square matrix. So we say it's a third order identity matrix. Here you notice that all the principal diagonal elements 1 and the other elements all 0. Okay, so this is a very important matrix. So you have to remember this. Next, come to some operations on matrices. Operations. Operations on matrices. First, addition. Now, addition. Suppose A and B are two matrices, and we want to add them. We can only add them if their orders are exactly same. That is, if A is an m by n matrix and B is also an n by n matrix, then only they are said to be conformable for addition, or they can be added. Otherwise, if their orders are not equal, they cannot be added. Okay. So remember these things, that two matrices can be added if their orders are equal. Otherwise, they cannot be added. Okay, and after adding, the answer we will get the answer as a matrix, and that matrix will have the same order as A and B. So let's give an example. Suppose A is equal to 1 2 5 3 4 6, and B is equal to, suppose 2 3 4 and 5 6 7. So if we want to add these two matrices, first we have to check whether we can add the two matrices at all or not. Here we can add the two matrices. Why? Because their orders are exactly same. You see that here there are 2 rows and 3 columns. So the order is 2 by 3, and here there is also 2 rows and 3 columns. So here the order is also 2 by 3. So first you have to check whether their orders are same or not. Then we can say that they can be added. Now how to add them? The process is very simple. You just add the corresponding element and put it in the corresponding position. That is, 1 will be added to 2. We have 1 plus 2 and we have to write 3. Similarly, 2 plus 3, 5, and we have to write 5 in the same or corresponding position. 5 plus 4 is 9, we have to write here. 3 plus 5, 8, we have to write here. 4 plus 6, 10, we have to write here. 6 plus 7, 13, we have to write here. Actually, these things, these operations, you have already learned in class 10. So you have some idea about this. This you can consider as a revision class. Okay. Next, coming to subtraction. Subtraction is actually same concept will be applied here. That is, two matrices can be subtracted if their orders are exactly same, and the method of subtraction is you just subtract the corresponding elements. Like suppose here we want to subtract b from a, that is a minus b, then the answer will be 1 minus 2, it will be minus 1, 2 minus 3, it will be minus 1, 5 minus 4, it will be 1, 3 minus 5, it will be minus 2, 4 minus 6, it will be minus 2, 6 minus 7, it will be minus 2. So addition, subtraction, almost same concept. First we have to check whether they have the same order, and then if they have the same order, then add or subtract the corresponding element as the case may be. Okay. So next topic is next property. Next operation is multiplication of a matrix by a scalar. Multiplication of a matrix by a scalar. Scalar means here a real number or a number. Real. Here we are discussing only discussing in a real number field. So if we discuss in complex number field, then it will be complex number. But as we are here, we are discussing only real number spaces. So the number is real number. So that's why it's better to say scalar. So the scalar may be a real or complex number. Okay. So multiplication of a matrix by a scalar means it's given actually suppose the matrix A is equal to Aij m by n, and the scalar is equal to, suppose A is the scalar, and if we multiply this, then A into A will be just the corresponding elements. Each of the elements we have to multiply by that scalar. So Aij, and the order will be the same. Okay. So let's give an example. Suppose this example, A is equal to, suppose 2, 3, 5, minus 1, 0, 7, and K is equal to, suppose K is equal to suppose 2. So we are multiplying, we are finding K into A. K into A means 2 into A. So 2 into A means 2 into this matrix 2, 3, 5, minus 1, 0, 7. The concept is very simple. You just multiply each of the elements by this scalar. Unlike in determinants, when you are multiplying with a scalar, then that scalar is to be multiplied in a particular row or particular column. But in case of matrices, each element should be multiplied by this scalar. This is called scalar multiplication of a matrix with a scalar. So 2 to the 4, 2 3 is a 6, 2 5 is a 10, 2 minus 1 minus 2, 2 into 0, 0, 2 into 7, 14. So this will be the answer. So this is actually called scalar multiplication of a matrix by a scalar. Next, come to multiplication of two matrices. Multiplication of two matrices. Now suppose A is equal to, let's give an example, then the concept will be clear. Suppose A is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and B is equal to 1, 4, 0, 2, 3, 1. Now first, two matrices cannot always be multiplied. Any two matrices cannot always be multiplied. When two matrices are said to be conformable for multiplication, when the number of columns of the first element is equal to the number of rows of the second